Today, we're going to be going through the top 10 winners ever over on Hustler Casino Live, a popular poker stream. And we're going to start this video off with number 9, Nik Airball. This might be a surprising name for some of you to see Nik Airball so highly ranked, but with $1.2 million in winnings, Nik has had some pretty substantial results at Hustler Casino Live over his time playing. Now, according to High Roll Tracker, which is a site that tracks all these hours, Nik has played almost 900 hours over on HCL. Playing hundreds of hours on a single show? What a loser. But anyway, that $1.2 million is good for almost $1,400 an hour. Pretty sure this guy's glad he left investment banking.
You know, that's kind of like why I'm no longer working at investment banking.
Nik Airball burst onto the scene in 2022, starting at low stakes lineups, and then very quickly rose the ladder to playing in some of the biggest games that we see streaming on TV, including the $1 Million Game. Nik Airball is currently one of the most polarizing figures in the world of poker. Whether you love him or hate him, people love to see this guy play high stakes. He's just about the closest we've got to a WWE style heel, although we do have some honorable mentions. A defining moment of the Nik Airball saga was when he played Matt Berkey in a high stakes heads up challenge that actually was started right here on this channel. Unfortunately for Nik, he lost $1 million in just about 60 hours of play, which is honestly kind of impressive for just 400. Since then, we've seen a slightly different Nik Airball. He stepped away from HCL for a full year. Many rumors speculated about why he stepped away, thinking he perhaps was banned. We'll never know the truth for that. And he recently came back to play in some of their highest stakes games once again. He played in all 3 games of the 2025 $1 Million Game and had one of the most legendary hands we've seen on the show. A hand where a missed straight flush draw turned into a giant bluff versus Alan Keating. That bluff took courage. And just because you have one bluff go out there and fail doesn't mean you should stop, because the next bluff that might work is just around the corner.
Let's see if Doug continues his story. He's going for it. Puts Alex all in. Quick call.
Wow.
The biggest pot in launch live stream history.
Vote for Durr. How much, Doug?
420.
What are we doing?
You win.
I know I win, probably.
All in.
To go all in.
Oh my goodness.
Call.
Oh.
Alrighty.
Alrighty. Fucking Doug, you fucking put me to the test.
Or maybe it won't turn around. I just make YouTube videos. You can say what you want about Nik's antics or demeanor or bankroll or skill or whatever it might be, but the point is this guy has absolutely made HCL must-watch TV, and I imagine we're only going to see that continue to be the case moving forward. Moving on to our next biggest winner. Oh, actually, sorry, number 10 was Raymond. Won $1.8 million. Nicely done, Raymond. A man with no last name.
None of them have last names.
Our number 8 biggest winner in just 46 hours comes in at Jean-Robert Bellande. I'll never look at this guy's name the same again after that one guy on my stream chat called him Jean-Robert. It does sound exactly the same. Jean-Robert. My stream returns August 6th, where I have to win a pot with every starting hand. I'll see you there. Jean-Robert is famous for playing in lots of high-stakes games and hosting games in Las Vegas, and really there's not too much to say about his experience on Hustler Casino Live because the guy only played 46 hours. However, in terms of hourly rate that he won at on the show, it is the second highest of any player, coming in at $30.8 thousand an hour. I'm a little surprised JRB doesn't drive down to Los Angeles a little more often. Coming in at number 7 on this list is a name everybody knows, Garrett Adelstein, with $1.55 million in poker winnings. It's pretty impressive he managed to amass so many winnings in such a short period of time, given that he has not played on the show in about a year and a half or so. Garrett is arguably the most feared live poker cash game in history, and also perhaps the ultimate end boss deep stack live player. Over Garrett's 309 hours playing on the show, he won $1.5 million. Good for over $5,000 an hour for a few hundred hours. That's a pretty impressive rate, not just a flash in the pan to play that many hours with that many winnings. Not only did Garrett post giant wins on the show, he was also a fan favorite with many of the biggest episodes ever in the show's history, coming with Garrett as one of the stars. No conversation about Garrett and Hustler Casino Live would be complete without mentioning probably the most famous poker hand we've had in the last, maybe ever.
I call.
She calls? She have Jack 4?
She had 4 jack high?
What? Look at
After Robbie made one of the most confusing all-in calls we've ever seen in poker, Garrett immediately accused her of having cheated him and left the show permanently, having never played one hand since that alleged incident. I don't want to rehash that whole story. We have plenty of videos on the channel if you want to check it out. But the point is this: Garrett has stood by his read from day one and never stepped foot back in the casino. Since that all went down, we've really not seen much of Garrett at all, playing just a few shows over the last couple of years. And that's a darn shame. If there was only another show that he could get in a plane 2 hours away and fly to Austin and play on. It's a darn shame. Moving on to our next player that you probably aren't too familiar with, Henry Gutman has won $1.6 million on the show over about 683 hours of play. Henry has the third most hours on this list, so certainly a grinder when it comes to putting in those long sessions, and he is known by his table moniker, King Henry. Henry's story here is quite unique. He's not a poker professional and he's not a content creator. He's a finance professional from Brooklyn, reportedly working as an underwriter at Yellowstone Capital LLC, and yet somehow he finds the time to quietly crush Hustler Casino Live on the side. Henry doesn't talk too much at the table. He's not controversial. He doesn't cause drama. He's just shown up for years and won. That's it. Moving on. Number 5 on our list needs no introduction. It is the internet legend, one of the pioneers of high stakes online back in the day on Full Tilt Poker. We're talking about none other than Tom Dwan, coming in at plus 2.24 million over just 153 hours of play on the show. Durr rose to prominence during poker's golden age, from legendary full tilt nosebleed battles against Patrick Antonius and Isildur 1 to jaw-dropping bluffs on high-stakes poker. Tom brought a wild, aggressive, unpredictable style that rewrote what poker could look like. He was fearless, explosive, and completely untouchable, until he just disappeared. For much of the 2010s, Tom Dwan went dark. He played almost exclusively in private high-stakes games in Asia, some rumored to have millions of dollars on the table, but then he vanished from public poker. No YouTube hands, no WSOP appearances, no TV games. For years, fans wondered, is he done? Is he broke? Is he even still playing? And then out of nowhere, Tom Dwan showed back up in 2017 after only one public appearance over the previous 5 years. Since returning, Tom has won at over $14,000 an hour, which is nothing to sneeze at. First, there is one hand that I wish didn't happen.
Vote for Durr. How much, Doug?
420.
Snap call. If not, snap jam. But again, Tom's taking his time.
Are you going to call the clock again?
Gotta believe Doug's going to be steamed up after this one. There's not a lot to get value from. You just call, and if you see quads, you see quads. Durr. What are we doing?
You win.
I know I win, probably.
Uh-oh.
The question was just if I'm shoving or not, dude. What the fuck? It's if I shove the river or not. I'm never folding.
I don't think he liked when I called the clock on him. Also, people have speculated what took so long for this decision and why did he just call with the boat. We analyzed it here on the channel. I thought it was kind of reasonable, probably should jam, really that pretty unlikely you're beat, but I also could understand the logic that I'm quite polarized with that big bet, so not the end of the world bad decision. And then there's another hand that I wish I wasn't a part of.
Oh, I saw your hand. Saw someone's hand? I saw Wesley's hand. I haven't looked at my hand. I know what you have. It's a weird spot.
30.
I'm just gonna.
Well, if you're gonna play, then
I fold. Just I'm. You already know what you have. I know what you have.
Seen it already.
What?
sorry.
30 to go right now.
Yep.
So raise from Hank, a 3-bet from Wesley. Don't know what Dwan has, but is going to 4-bet. Now this hand is weird for a couple of reasons. One, we're playing stand-up game. Two, the whole thing with Doug Polk saying, I saw your hand. And Doug is watching because he knows what Wesley has, and Wesley has just 5-bet to 275,000. Action back over to Dwan. And there's the call from Dwan. Over $500,000 in the pot. We haven't seen a flop yet. 8-8-3, 2 diamonds out there. Wesley does have the ace of diamonds. Wesley bets 125,000. There's the call from Dwan. Turn a blank. Wesley's hands are shaking, and it looks like he is loading up for another bet. Remember, Doug Polk knows what Wesley has. Tom Dwan, though, does not. And there's the call. The river's a 6. Wesley with just ace high. Dwan checks it one more time.
All in.
There's the all in.
He said all in?
He said all in.
For sure?
Pot has got 2.3 million in there. Wesley is just triple barreled with ace king.
What the fuck? Doug saw his hand, tried to talk him out of 3-betting. 3-bet anyway. Feels like you just fucking trips, huh?
He's got queens. There's the call.
Hey, call?
Call.
Tom Dwan has just won the biggest pot in the history of televised poker.
That hand that we just saw is the largest pot in live stream poker history, where he called down pocket queens in this 5-bet pot. There are at least 2 things I have to round this video out with about Tom Dwan, even though they're kind of ugly. The first is that Tom has over the years ran up many debts for millions of dollars to many people I know. Some statements have come forward publicly in recent years, and the alleged figures of exactly how much he owes are in the tens of millions of dollars. As I understand it, oftentimes he will have someone kind of front the money to play in a game where he ends up kind of free-rolling them, planning on not paying back. This is, as I understand it, guys, just trying to be honest with you. You know, obviously I'm a little bit more privy to some of the high stakes stuff that's going on, and this has been going on for some number of years. And then the other side of this that is quite sad is the recent Tom Dwan instance online, where he has had some what appear to be kind of like mental breakdowns. I never covered it on the channel. I don't really want to get into it. I feel like once you cross over into the personal stuff, you know, I'm fine talking about the scams or the money he stole from people because it's the right thing to do. But once you get into kind of like someone's mental well-being, I just don't feel good covering that or talking about that. So we're going to leave that to the side. I hope Tom does get better in the near future, and then maybe one day makes right some of the issues that he's had with people in the past. Let's get back to talking poker. This brings us to number 4, Brandon Steven, another player up about 2.26 million over 91 hours, not even 100 hours for this guy to win a couple $1 million. Brandon is not a poker pro by trade. He's a self-made entrepreneur and car dealership mogul from Wichita, Kansas. But for someone with a business background, he has some real talent at the poker table. His $24,000 an hour on the show is one of the highest hourly rates that anyone has had playing. He usually shows up for the biggest games of the year, like the $1 million game and an occasional 200, 400 or higher game. Brandon has also had some success in tournaments, winning over $6.8 million, and his biggest cash was the second place finish in the 2022 WSOP 250K High Roller for $2.8 million. Similar to King Henry, he might not grab headlines or stir drama, but Brandon Stevens' results speak volumes. His results on the show are extremely impressive, and he's sneakily in 4th place all time on Hustler Casino Live. This brings up number 3 and the highest hourly rate of any player ever on this show. Hassan Ona has won $2.3 million in just 36 hours of play. Unlike Henry and Brandon, though, Hassan in just those brief hours managed to get himself into some fine A-grade drama, considering this was a $1 million poker game.
Well done, Wesley. Pussy.
Pussy is the only word you know?
I can only use the words that you teach me.
Your mom raised me like that? Raised you like that?
Yes.
Tells you pussy every day? Your mom?
Check.
What's your mom's name?
Oh, we went there?
I'd be very careful, because I don't care. I'll beat the fuck out of you.
Once you get into the your mom segment of the argument, never going to be good.
Really
They're locked in right now.
hurt him emotionally. And I'd love to hurt him physically, but
You want to hurt me physically? Yeah, try. Hit me. You motherfucker.
You want to go?
Motherfucker. Come, hit me. Fuck you.
We can go outside if you want.
Yeah. Hit me. Try.
Come outside.
Try.
It's weird to hear this and then look at how much money these guys are playing for. Pretty incredible. Anyway, Hassan is from Australia and has only ever played on HCL or Live at the Bike, so that's basically it. That's all we know, but it will be hard to forget him. Number 2, Mariano Grandoli. Popular poker vlogger Mariano takes the number 2 spot on this list. Since stepping into the Hustler Casino Live arena, Mariano has transformed into one of the most feared players on the live felt, with an incredible 863 hours logged on stream and 2.36 million in winnings. He's proven to be a long-term winner on the show. Before Mariano became one of the fiercest grinders on Hustler Casino Live, he made a name for himself as a poker vlogger and content creator. His videos gave fans an inside look at the realities of a high-stakes poker lifestyle. Mariano's rise to high stakes happened extremely fast. His first live stream appearance came at the Lodge in 2021, where he played a 5-10 game that at the time was the biggest game he'd ever played in. To be fair to Mariano, Texas 5-10 isn't exactly 5-10. The meteoric rise began just a few months later. Mariano was consistently playing 5100 before dabbling in 200-400 by late 2022. These days, he can be found playing Hustler's biggest games almost every week. Now, the thing about Mariano, and this has to at least be mentioned, is he does appear to be quite lucky. He had aces and the aces kings kings. He gets it in pre-flop with suited connectors and oftentimes wins. He had the straight flush versus the nut flush. I mean, the list of hands that this guy has had, it just goes on and on and on and on. So Mariano is certainly one of the great stream players right now, but you have to wonder, will this sun run eventually run out? Whether it does or not, at just 29 years old, Mariano is now one of the biggest poker content creators in the world, and he has been by far the most successful in terms of his actual poker results in cash games. I can think of another successful YouTuber, Daniel Negreanu. I expect we'll see way more from Mariano in the future. Number 1, just Peter.
None of them have last names.
Coming in at the top of the list, we have Peter. Peter has no podcast appearances, no Twitter hot takes, no vlogs, and barely any table talk. And yet he's crushed the biggest games in the world. In 253 hours on Hustler Casino Live, Peter has booked $2.53 million in winnings, averaging a ridiculous $10,000 an hour. But while Peter has been the biggest winner on Hustler Casino Live, it's worth noting that almost all of this came from the 2024 $1 million game, where he won almost $5 million over 3 days. So in games beyond that, Peter is actually down almost $2.5 million on Hustler. And I will say, from that game in 2024, those were some of the most beautiful chip stacks we've ever seen. Frankly, we don't know too much about Peter, but he has played some of the most entertaining hands over the past few years, most notably including this $900,000 pot on high stakes poker versus Alan Keating, where Keating managed to make an incredible hero call with just third pair. I don't want to speculate too much on what will happen over the next few years on Hustler, but my guess is that Peter will not remain at the top of this list forever. Who do you think will be number 1 in the next year or two? You can also use code Doug for this special offer seen below for 20 sweeps coins on your first purchase. I'll see you over on Club WPT Gold and for the stream on August 6th. Should be a fun one. Thanks, guys.